Oops. Hi, everybody. Welcome to kdmoonchild's world. Don't mind, don't worry about it. That's just the camera waving at you, saying hello, hello, and welcome. Okay, so I'm trying. I'm Katie. Welcome to Saturday Solutions. Maybe with tonight's reading, today's reading, you will, I don't know, change your perspective. Like I just did right there before your eyes. Anyway, welcome. A little bit of housekeeping before we start. I would love to thank Spirit Whisperer, Mark. Thank you so much for coming on my show, on the Light Workers Roundtable. That was so much fun. I truly enjoyed myself. We definitely have to do that again. Thank you so much. And yeah, anyway, that's the housekeeping. What I'm going to do is give you a reading. It's all oracle cards and affirmation type cards. I'm going to be telling you, we're going to be looking at what our current situation is. Then we're going to look at what we want to be, what we want our dreams, what our goals are, what we truly, passionately as a people want. And you can interpret this however you want to. You can interpret this as you as an individual, or as the world, as the government, as the country, as wherever you are. And it may not even pertain to any kind of a region. So that's why I'm saying it depends on where you are. Anyway, the next thing I look at is the roadmap, how to get from where we are to where we want to go. And then we take a look to see what chakra is blocking us from doing the progress we need to on the map. And then finally, we get a message from Spirit and from our untethered soul. So, without without ado, let's get started. This deck that I'm using right now is the Mystical Shaman deck by Colette Baron Reed. And we're looking at our current situation. Oh yes, and as usual, this is for entertainment purposes only. That way, there's no doubt about it. Right. Spirit, what's our current situation, please? About dumped half the cards. Let's take this one right here. Interesting. Ooh, so's the bottom card. I'm saying this card has a lot to do with the fact that we've come into Lionsgate. This is a child. It really is important right now. Oh, this is for me too. It's really important right now to look at things through the eyes of your inner child. Because the veil is so thin that whatever your emotions stirs up that energy Do not forget that. So mind your thoughts. Watch what you say. Be the diplomat. Yes. But do it with the innocence of the child, as if you're in wonder, you're in awe. How does it work? Instead of, well, I judge that it be this way. Or we can also look at it as though we've been acting like the child. And it's time for the adults to come back into the room. Because if you look at the lunar here, the moons on each side of her, they're a little out of whack. She's got a fire burning way down here. But her stare is of someone who is not completely, sorry, I didn't mean to knock that over. Not completely aware of where she is. Maybe you can even look at this, all of this down and around her as bits and pieces of the veil that have started to open and rise upon her. I definitely can see that as the current situation. I sure have felt it the last 3 days. Wow. Has it been crazy? It's like the things I've been begging for and manifesting for years now, all of a sudden, like in 3 days, went wham, 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 and came true. Kind of crazy. But there's a message. First of all, of course there's a message. It's an oracle card. Yeah. The number 7 is for control, reflection, and assessment. So we need to be looking at things, the original thing I said, more through the eyes of a child, and stop being so judgmental. Slow it down. No one knows everything about everything. Everybody sure has an opinion like they do, but that doesn't mean that it's not always appropriate to be really loud with your opinions. And it doesn't matter what your opinion is. I know there's freedom of speech, but there's also a modicum of this thing called, my mother taught me. My mother, whose mother was a Victorian lady, taught her. My great aunt, my mother's aunt, was married to my grandma's brother, right? When you ate at her house, if you put your elbows on the table, she would slap them out from underneath you, but she'd wait until you had food on your fork or your spoon. And then you'd get in trouble for spilling your food. That was my aunt. And it wasn't hot. It was more like, just knock your elbow out from under you. So, instead of like slap it really hard, but you definitely made a mess, and that was really embarrassing at her house in Bel Air, Los Angeles. Anyway, I was taught you had manners. They bought that house years and years and years ago, before that was a wealthy place, because they were both teachers. My great aunt and uncle. So it just became a real popular place to live. Anyway, the second card, the card that was on the bottom, I said was very appropriate. I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. It's easier to look at things through the eyes of the child, of your child, if you stay in the flow. Quit obstructing yourself. You're blocking yourself. We are blocking ourselves. That's a card that's about balance, duality. It's about partnerships. It's about reaching out for help when you need it. Because assistance is there. You know, I say that all the time. All the time. But I never reach out very often for help. It's like I'm some kind... That's my hypocrisy. It's like I'm telling you guys all the time, assistance is there for you, but it's not for me. Wait a minute. Something's wrong here. Exactly. Exactly. This is a beautiful card because it talks about water flow, which is emotions, and air flow, it's neat. It's beautiful. Air is the thinking. Water is the emotion. And they both flow. And when you're in it, flow, which you are. One or the other is flowing around you. If you're not in water, you sure are in the air, aren't you? Are you standing on the earth? Yeah, but what's all around you? You're in flow. So whether you move forward or attempt to move upstream and go backwards, that's all up to us. But it is contrary to any kind of consistent flow. I didn't say the word, the P word, progress. I said consistent flow. Consistent flow always moves forward. Once in a while, when you're in an eddy, it will kind of move a little bit backwards. But it's not really truly moving backwards. And eddies are good if you look at water as flow, because that's a place to rest. You just don't want to get in the middle, deep into that eddy, because then it's really hard to get back out again. Then you just kind of stagnate and don't grow. We have our new moon and our full moon, both in Lion's Gate. Predominant moons in both cards. That's fascinating. Now we're going to take a look and see where we want to be. So I'm going to move this card over. Where do we want to be? Now I'm going to be using the Shamanic Dreams, which will let me read. And you have to forgive me if I'm a little bit slow. I'm really tired. The last 3 days has pooped me out. And I'm going to sleep in tomorrow and then have a party. because it's my 1-year anniversary tomorrow. Actually, this particular Saturday Solutions is number 52. I have not missed a single Saturday in the year. I'm very proud of myself for that. Because this is the show the channel started with. So welcome to the original Saturday Solutions. Oh, blow it up, big girlfriend. Just blow it up big. I tell ya. Not like being silly, huh? Okay. So what is our dreams and goals, please? You know where we're at. We're in flow. We're in flow, and we are seeking balance. At least that's where we want to be. We're actually the child trying to find how to get into flow. That silly child doesn't realize. Maybe that's why that child's the moons are out of whack. That child doesn't know how to get into flow. She doesn't know that flow is all around her. She thinks flow is something you have to control, like a faucet. She gets the water. Huh. Anyway. Let's see. Oh, and what we want is to be connected. Interesting. My friend Dali and I were just talking about the jeweled web. We're just talking about being a part of the web and the connectivity. And I was telling her how I see in my mind's eye what it's like. It's like a big net out there in the cosmos somewhere. And we're all in the center of it right now. But that net is as points of light in the net. Everywhere the net crosses an intersection, there's that net. That light. And then look, we get the jeweled web, talking about a sparkly web. I would say our souls, our higher self, our light is definitely a jewel. And we're wanting to ascend. We're wanting to shift. We're wanting to transform, transition. We just want change. We want things to be better. Way, way better. And I see I've got a glare. Whoop. I didn't mean to turn it all out. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have a glare no matter what I do. Let's move it over just a tad. Maybe that'll help. Move her up. There we go. And it's a number 5 card. I don't think you can see that anymore. Number 5. It's interesting. Yeah, it's because it's a card of control, reflection, and assessment. Interesting. Interesting. one of partnership, duality, and balance. Fascinating. Fascinating. Okay. Yeah, we want to be connected. You know how it feels to be connected? Today, when I was just, I don't know, didn't want to be a whiny girl, you know, bring my problems as a card reader. I don't think it's necessarily appropriate to bring my problems into the chat in another card reader's situation, you know. I don't want to take over their show with my issue unless, you know, they're going to read on it for me, which I didn't get a chance to even ask on that. But I was watching Scott and Debbie and Lisa. They were really good. And but I put in there what happened with my kitty cat, and I got help right away. So that's this card and the child card. A reminder that assistance is out there. If you reach for it, if you ask for it, it really and truly is. How can people help you? I mean, oh my gosh, this is the most generous community. How can they help you if they don't know what you need? Or that you even need anything? As far as they know, you got it together. Because that's why they're watching you. They might forget once in a while, yeah, I'm human. And I get tested. Boy, was I tested this week. Wow. Really tested. But it's kind of appropriate since it's the last week of my year on YouTube. So I kind of did the silly thing and said, okay, bring on the challenges. Oh, don't ever say that. Please. I don't mean that right now. Control-Alt-Delete that statement. Universe, angels, please. You taught me not to say that anymore. Definitely this week. Whew. I usually tell people, don't say, oh, what can happen next? Never say that, because there's always something bigger that can come and teach you a bigger lesson. If you gotta watch what you, especially right now, what you say, what you think, because it will be handed to you. Because the veil is thin. We are a jeweled web. Don't kid yourself. We're always connected like this. Always. That's where the majority of us are. Only a little tiny piece of us can fit in this little fleshly bit. And I heard, the first time I heard someone say that, it was Autumn, Black and Orange Tarot, and it made perfect sense to me. The reason your higher self is higher than you is because it can't fit in this little body. It's so big. So it just puts a little piece of itself in you. We need a map. Help, Spirit. This is the Enchanted Map Deck by Colette Baron-Reid. I kind of like her. And these 3 decks work together so beautifully for this. So, yeah. Oop. Thought it had been a while. Well, it shows too. So it's been a while since I've been able to shuffle like this. So, and then I'll practice up. And then because I practice, my hand will get sore again. Oh. I am learning that could be a new symptom of fibromyalgia. I thought it was carpal tunnel. But no, because it's a prickly burning sensation that goes from here, right in here, which I broke my hand right there, so I thought it has to do with that. And it travels up here, and it itches really bad right in here. So I'll itch that, and then it'll start burning like fire right at my cuticle, on the fingernail, not the cuticle, at the cuticle. Sorry, I'm embarrassed about my fingernails. Gardening, folks. I garden really early in the morning, except a couple days ago when they were cutting my trees down. I couldn't do a lot of gardening there. Who would want to garden? There's like 8 men in my yard. I'm not going to be bending over and digging holes and with 8 men in my yard. Sorry. I don't garden that way anyway. It kills your back. I usually sit on the ground. I get out my little trowel, because I carry it all in a little basket thingy. My garden tools. Get my trowel out and I sit down. Because I don't grow anything like in the ground. I grow it in pots and above ground. Because the soil here has a clay in it called caliche that it's doggone like concrete. You need a backhoe to get through some of it if it's very thick. So, and it's not usually too far down from the surface. Usually if you're going to plant a tree of any size, you have to get through caliche to plant the tree. Because if you don't, the taproot will never form. There's only a couple kinds of trees. The desert trees do fine. They know how to find a crack, to keep going down and down and down to find water. So, but the domestic trees, they struggle after a while. That's why I was sad to lose the eucalyptus tree, because it's one that knows how to struggle. Shoot, a lot of them survive fires in Australia. And when those things are so loaded with oil, especially in the summertime when they're alive, wow. So in a way, I'm really grateful for a lot of reasons that tree was dead, because when it's alive, it has a lot of water in it. So, I mean, but almost like a palm tree. And a palm tree is darn near a sponge. So, it's a very, very porous, soft wood. Smells great. You can get your hands on a chipper. Makes awesome mulch to have put around your house where you do not want weeds to grow or anything else to grow. As a matter of fact, not even bugs will accumulate there. It's not that it's poisonous. It's just so loaded with oil. It's very fragrant. I guess it must confuse them or something. I don't know. Kind of reminds me of the smell of a nest of garter snakes, though. So, I guess it would depend on the oil you use. Okay, what's our map? Yeah, that makes sense. Because that time's coming soon. Like in the next month. Where we're going to be making a choice. Tuesday here is our primary in Arizona. So yeah, making a choice is rather appropriate for right now. I'm going to hold that up for you. Poor Dove is having a hard time making a choice. I want to come over here where the nest is. Or take off into this purple sky. This dove. But look, the sparkling connection. Hey! Sparkling connection. Air, sparkling connection. Moon, sparkling connection. Pay attention to the sparkles. Oh, really? Okay, as we are making our choice. Got the 3 card. It's interesting. 20, and then we get 30. Huh. The 30 is 3. Breaks down to a 3. There you go. That's what I needed. Because we're going to be making a choice about growth. And what group do you belong to? Do you want to choose a group at all? And what is the repercussions of that? That kind of bothers me a little. Because it's all about expression. Ah, I see. You want to stay in your home bubble. Internet. Multimedia, or yeah, social media. Internet. The dove is trying to decide, do I go with the internet or do I go and soar naturally? We're going to be having to make a choice. Do we want the comfort of what we've known at home? Or do we want to do what we need to do to save this country, this planet? I don't believe that was a Freudian slip. You save the planet, you save your country. Doesn't matter what country you're watching me from. It's like it's all tidy in their boxes here. Yeah, making a choice. It's either this or this. And this poor dove is going, but why do I have to make a choice? The thing is, this guy right here, he's in a way the most obvious one. He's already made a choice and he has no idea what that choice that he has. He has no idea that he even made a choice. You know what his choice is? His choice is not to decide between those 2 choices. He's just observing. Interesting. Because I keep hearing, use your voice, use your voice, use your voice. But these cards are saying, watch. But you know what? You cannot watch unless you're somewhere people are. Oh, you can watch YouTube and other social media stuff. But you're not watching people being people, going about their daily lives, not even thinking that someone might be watching them. Stop and think about that for a minute. It's kind of a paradox, I'd say. Anyway, obviously we have a chakra blocked. Because here we are, being the child, waiting for the moon to change, to each lunation. till it finally gets to the bottom. And then this one, you know, she's so flowed. Her name is Flo. Queen Flo. She's in the water, in the air, in the light. That's who we want to be. All balanced and in control of our ability, our inability. Just in more control of our lives. Everything seems to have been spinning out of control ever since we first locked down for COVID. What choice did we have? What choice did we have? Right here. You can decide not to make a choice. And who knows? You might get what you want. But I bet you money you won't manifest much. You got to make your what you want heard. Because you got to live it like you've already manifested it. Otherwise, how can you feel it to match the energy? And matching energy is what manifesting is all about. Not what you say or how you say it or in your ritual. Rituals really do depend a lot on the person. Myself personally, I guess I have a ritual. Not really though. Kind of a habit, like before I start a reading. That's interesting. Obviously we have a chakra block. What chakra do we have blocked? This is the Kaleidodope. Swatches of Chakra by Crystal Banner. It's a fun deck to shuffle. What is... Here we go. That kind of let us know. Root Chakra again. Oh, in the most center pit of our foundation. The 1 of 1 card. Yeah. Stability. Not feeling too stable or secure. I know it's hard. It's really hard to keep optimistic. And it's going to get harder because we've got more information coming at us, and it's going to come at us really fast. Oops, excuse me. The first is what? Yeah, anyway. So many card readers and astrologers, they're all saying the 1st of August. They're not the 1st of August, but they're all saying in August that a lot of the heavy hitters, some of the heavy hitters are going to start getting indicted. So, I don't know. I don't like talking politics. This is about solutions, but we get to see that. That's the start. The start of a solution. Anyway, the root chakra. Because that's your center for your physical health, your home, your stability, your survival, the material world. And it is also because, especially since this is the 1 card, especially your point of grounding, whether that's your toes, your fingers, whatever you do to ground yourself. Hugging a tree, becoming a tree, using your toes as though they're the roots of a tree, growing and growing and growing and growing and growing downward. When your root chakra, when your root chakra is balanced, you have a vitality, a physical vitality. You have a feeling of being safe and secure. Stability and security. Safe and secure. Trusting, patient, you're financially secure, connected to nature. You have perseverance, a strong foundation. You feel healthy with a sense of belonging. When it's out of balance, you have a lack of energy, your insecurities, your fear of security and safety. You have a physical weakness. I mean, yeah, squat down. Can you stand back up without a lot of effort? You're angry. You have financial worries. Yeah. You have anxiousness and indecisiveness. You don't know what decisions to make. How, where, and who. Because you can feel everybody's greed. You feel selfishness. You're out of touch with reality. The crystals that help with this are jet, red jasper, black tourmaline, and onyx. And the affirmations. Tell yourself in the mirror, I feel safe and secure. I am grounded and stable. I trust myself. I have everything I need. My physical needs are abundantly met. In case you were wondering what I was looking at, it's, here's the book. It's in the binder. You print it out. It's a PDF. And here is the table of contents. So this is the color of the chakras. And except they start at number 1 is at the root, which is funny because I'm used to, well, yeah, they've just got it. Oh, that's weird. Anyway, and then they take off and show you, and then we go into the different chapters. And this is usually what I read to you, right there. Just in case you are curious, it has been a year. Thank you. Wow, interesting reading. Thank you so much, you guys, for coming every week for a year. You know, I can't talk. I am tired. I'm tongue-tied. I'm so sorry. Spirit, can we have a message, please? Use the Angels and Ancestors deck. Sorry, I have to shuffle like that, kind of slow. Okay, good though. Really shuffling good when you do that. Or at least when I do that, I should say. Okay. This one, let's do this. Put that in the front. Pulled a bunch of cards out of the middle. Okay, what's our message, please? Yeah. We've got her too recently. We have got to learn, plop it, brother, to start shifting our perception of things. We got the Air Guardian. Interesting. I'm so sorry. I didn't. Yeah, I did too. So here we go again. Air. 2 cards with air messages. Air and air. And the map message was kind of an air situation because you're having to make a choice between 2 situations and you really don't like either one. So if you are free here, this card is saying you can become totally free if you will just shift your perception. That's interesting. Well, you're beautiful. I'm just looking at that card. All your jewelry. I bet that headpiece is heavy. But you've got metal around your tatas and metal around your arm. Wow. Heavy. Very heavy, lady. And then we have a new deck, the new message that I'm going to be incorporating in every week. It's from the Untethered Soul affirmations deck, intuition deck, inspiration deck. It comes in different categories. I mean, this is the back of the card, and they are different categories. Freeing yourself, and awakening consciousness, and so on. So, Spirit, what do you have to tell us from our untethered souls? Please tell us about our untethered souls. These are cards, they're stiff, they're new. They don't went to shuffle very easily. Okay, keep doing that. Wow, exactly. I heard that Air Guardian giggle. How do you free yourself? Sorry, you can't see that very well. I will hold it up. How do you free yourself? In the deepest sense, you free yourself by finding yourself from the untethered soul. This is a book and a workbook and these cards. How do you free yourself? In the deepest sense, you free yourself by finding yourself. So, how do you free yourself? By going deeper. And that's not a, I'm just hearing, that is not a surprise to someone of color. or to a woman of color. How do you free yourself? In the deepest sense, you free yourself by finding yourself. These cards are fantastic. I try to pull one every morning. And I thank you for coming, everybody. Come back as soon as you can. And we will do this again. Like next Saturday.